Alright, hey everyone. Okay, so I'm going to show a video of me just getting work done. I'm currently finishing up the final list. So I'm on the Warhammer right now, and I've gotten this is all pretty much all the new weapons. I'm behind schedule by about 5 days because I was planning on having this all done by the 15th. But it's been a lot more work than that. In fact, I'm actually kind of wondering, like, holy crap, the game has easily. I'm not even kidding around, like 60 plus weapons. This is a little too ambitious for a solo project, I'm finding, but it is getting done. So what you'll probably see me working on is the Warhammer and the high staff, and I'll probably call it a video after that. And then I'll do a video of me working on the Death Orb, which I might actually work on these three in one chunk, and then do the Death Orb last. But the Warhammer and the high staff are going to be pretty interesting because, well, for one, the high staff's probably going to have a pretty over the top effect. A lot of the melee weapons do. So here, let me show you. Okay, so here's the Warhammer. Here's the Storm Scythe, or I guess I should call it. It's called a Rune Scythe right now. But let me. See how it follows your direction. uh, so crazy. All right, so the Warhammer. I'm actually thinking that maybe the Warhammer should just be as is right now, the way it currently is at the moment. Um, I also did something a little bit funny. I know a lot of people say that the game looks like Minecraft, so I added in kind of a joke that's actually going to be like a gameplay mechanic when it comes to searching for secrets and stuff. I added a pickaxe, so there's going to be. I'll never get away from the Minecraft references now. It's exactly like Minecraft. Honestly, I don't mind that people think it's like Minecraft, but this isn't really supposed to be like Minecraft. It's supposed to be more like it's supposed to be more like 8-bit Nintendo graphics, but it's in 3D. That's actually kind of my goal. Like I want that to be my thing moving forward with games that I work on in the future, the solo projects that I do in the future. I want to have kind of like an aesthetic that's sort of very pixel art, and even in the 3D space, it'll probably be with voxels, and it's just gonna be like it's just gonna be something I do for a while. Like I'm gonna try and improve on my art style and just continue to just make better and better pixel art like this. So what I just finished up a second ago is coming up with the impact sound for the Warhammer. I guess all of the really big melee weapons are gonna have that. I'll go through and show all of the more recent weapons because it's kind of cool how many, like, look, all these new guys. I've like doubled the guns in the game. I've doubled them. Um, let's see if I can. So I'll continue kind of just working because that's something I need to get a little bit better at doing. I need to be making more videos of me just doing stuff. Yeah, this'll. So that's the rune sword there. I'll show you guys the rune sword. Actually, I'll show. God, I don't even know if I can show all of the new guns because it's just that'll be the video. It won't even working on all this stuff. You already seen a lot of these right now. The fire wands, poison dagger, flame dagger, the crossbows. Okay, so like let me show all three crossbows. Death bow, gauntlets. Oh the God, Jesus, so many fucking new guns. Like, I don't even think I can carry them all. I think I'll hit my inventory limit. Alright, so I showed the daggers. I'm pretty sure I showed those. Yeah, I'm over encumbered. Leave this shit. Okay, I'm over encumbered just trying to fucking show off, like, what I've got here so far. Okay, so, in the next patch, which is going to be this week, I'm going to put the game on sale, and I'm going to make the crossbow one of the weapons that you get right away, and I'm going to nerf the difficulty a little bit. Well, actually, putting the crossbow in is probably all the difficulty nerfing that I need to do for the first area and stuff like that, but... So here's the crossbow. Crossbow has punch through. Not going to be great against enemies with armor, though, but it's still pretty goddamn good. You're not really supposed to use this against this guy. Oh, God. But, yeah. The crossbow is really fun to use, actually. I really like it. But there are upgrades of the crossbow. So here's the poison bow. Now here's the thing though, when it comes to these upgrades, there's magic. Right now there's no icon for it, but if you look in the ammo, you'll notice that there's a mana now. Mana might actually end up being one of the bars over here. Oh God, I'm adding another bar. I'm adding another resource to manage. The way magical weapons work is that you gain magic over time. They regenerate. You see how it's going up on its own? So it's 7 of 100 now. All magical weapons utilize mana. So the poison bow is a magical weapon. Now the poison bow, you'll notice that the arrow is green instead of gray. See how it inflicts poison damage. Oh God. The only thing is that poison damage isn't particularly great, but this, if you'll notice, this is an awful lot like the heretic bow. Poison damage doesn't do very much against zombies. However, fire damage versus zombies is a whole new thing. So death bow, you'll notice right here, the death bow does fire damage. The only thing is you need to charge it up, get some mana going. All right. Now the death bow is just supposed to be like a really silly, like high-end upgrade. So he's burning. It fires 2 fire arrows at once. And then it also fires a bunch of like side projectiles. So if you get up close, that's why the crossbows are considered shotguns. So that shows that. The gauntlets are... Oh yeah, it's another thing too. Melee weapons give you a defensive stance when you aim down sight with them. They work a little bit differently. So like with the warhammer, you know, you see like I stand right here. I have a defensive stance with it. With the gauntlets, you get kind of like a shield thingy. So gauntlets are shotguns, and they're poison damage primarily. These fire 2 bursts like that, and they don't really have a huge amount of range, but demons will get eaten alive by this stuff because demons are weak versus poison damage. And there's quite a few demons in the game. Now, the way ammo is supposed to work when it comes to mana, consuming weapons, is that these tend to run out pretty quickly, but they're sort of an infinite resource. So if you have one mana weapon in your inventory or in your build, then you can switch to your guns, kill stuff, and then gain more ammo for your magical weapon. And then you switch back to your magical weapon for a bit, use that, and it's sort of like ammo management. Like, you always have more and more ammo than before. So that kind of answers a lot of the feedback that I've gotten from people about how, like, would be some creative ways to make it so that you can increase the amount of ammo that you have. Well, one of the things I like about this is that it adds sort of a degree of creativity and strategy to increasing the amount of ammo you have, because now you're managing between mana and your regular weapons. And, like, I don't know, it's just a different way to think about it. Like, if you're really good at managing your resources, you can use your bullets, use all of your regular ammo, and then switch to mana weapons whenever you have enough of that. So having magical weapons is just like a fantastic way to vastly increase how much ammo you actually have. Almost to a point of being infinite, but you're going to be shit out of luck if you have no regular ammo anymore, because mana weapons consume ammo very quickly. Here's the scythe, which I could probably show that. And, the regular other things. Here's the auto shotgun, the regular stuff like this. The hellish double barrel has little wings. You'll notice though that the hell weapons have larger and slower projectiles. You might notice that. They also fire slower, but have higher base damage. Hell weapons are not side grades. These are upgrades. I'll have to reposition the view model a little bit on some of these weapons. I know the rocket launcher also has a thing where it kind of clips with the camera. And let's see, hellish heavy rifle. Okay, so this weapon's completely new. It's a scoped rifle that fires in bursts. It's probably one of the best weapons in the game, and it's going to be particularly hard to get. That's one of the things that's really cool about this, though. And now that I'm getting all of these new guns in place and everything, when I'm building the new levels, I have all of this new stuff that I can just, like, place manually. And I'm probably going to get rid of the whole entire dismantle mechanic, because all it's done so far is cause confusion. But there's going to be lots of blueprints and stuff like that. I don't know why I mentioned the dismantle mechanic. That's just sort of like an added bonus to what I was already saying. But I'll have a lot more blueprints that are not randomized. In fact, I might actually consider it. I have so much shit right now that I can kind of get rid of the whole random element of, like, picking up random weapons a bit. Well, I don't know. I'll have to think about that a little more. Anyway, yeah, this rifle is sick. Uses sniper ammo. Fires in a pretty insane burst. Hellish submachine gun. Yeah, you've seen that. I don't think you've actually seen that, but let's see what else you got here. The daggers. Might have to work on the sound for that. Yeah, this one does poison, the other one does fire. It's real basic stuff, like, what else we got here? Okay, so we got the Hellish Howitzer, which is actually a pretty big upgrade from the regular Howitzer. Wooden Sword. Wooden Sword doesn't consume any ammo at all. There's a couple of weapons actually that don't consume any ammo. Um, the Wooden Sword is a piece of crap weapon that, like, you eventually figure out a way to upgrade it to the Rune Sword. Once you have the Rune Sword, you have like a oh, wonder why it's playing the impact sound. It's not supposed to do that. Well, it's a really high damage sword, and it fires lightning-based projectiles. It's pretty damaging. Let me see if I can. I'll change the sound effect actually. Let me go back to this. So the wooden sword is something that you upgrade to the rune sword, and it'll be kind of a weird secret that I'm gonna hide. Like, there'll be a hint to it, and basically what you do is you walk up to where you would place the wood sword, and what you do is the wood sword will you place it down on the ground on a button or like a or like a thing that kind of has like an icon of a sword on it on the floor, and it'll open up a door, and then you'll be able to get the rune sword, or it'll open up a way to get to it. The rune sword's a really powerful weapon. So the uh all right, I put the wrong sound effect. Yeah, yeah. All right. What I need is to get this here. Okay. Yeah. A lot of the larger melee weapons are going to be using the same sounds. Okay. Where's the rune sword? Oh, come on. Okay. That sound doesn't have any attenuation. Ah! Let me make sure this has attenuation. Default attenuation is probably fine. And it would have to be under effects. Gotta be careful when I add new sounds. The impact sound is not working like I was thinking it would in this particular case. So, So it was more or less just a neat idea, but oh yeah, yeah, with attenuation it should be fun. Make sure I got the rune sword. Yeah. If it wasn't so damn over encumbered. Ah. I'm gonna have to have another bar that indicates like how much mana you have, because it's just gonna be so confusing. There'll have to be a bar down here. It'll probably be purple. Yeah, it'll be the only purple bar, because your health has blue, and armor has blue as well, I think, when it goes overcharged. Yeah, so I'll have to have that. Hellish, okay, so let me go Hellish Howitzer. So the Hellish Howitzer is a howitzer that has... It actually has 5 shots to the magazine. Hellish minigun. The Hellish minigun, you'll notice that it fires larger. It's slower projectiles, but slower, larger projectiles, and hits a lot harder. It's much more damaging than the regular minigun. And you'll notice too that I hit a ghost on the bottom of the barrel. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look at the barrel, there's a little ghost on the bottom. I put ghosts on hell weapons. Just, just a joke. Warhammer. Okay, so here's you've seen the, okay, that's that. Now here's the Warhammer. Now this is what I gotta work on, like, right now. Alright. Isn't there anything else? Hellish Howisher, blah blah blah. Hellish Rocket Launcher. You notice the rocket launcher is a little beat up. Hellish Rocket Launcher. Just a more powerful version of the rocket launcher, basically. Fires slower, does more damage, blah blah blah. The usual song and dance. Yeah, daggers are just like that. Rune Scythe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some of these weapons available during the first episode. In fact, I'm kind of going back on the entire episode thing because I'm thinking that this is so much content that it's just gonna be the full game. Like episode 2 plus episode 1 is just gonna be the full game because it's gonna be like 20 or 30 hours of fucking content, and like the number of new guns that I've just added, like. And the guns that I'm still adding, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. It seemed like oh yeah, I'll just keep adding more. The thing is that this is more when you put this in perspective. Like I'm outpacing games that have entire teams of people with like I don't know. Does Strafe have 60 guns? It might have 60 guns. I don't know. Does it have like different types of like this is ridiculous. There's so much shit in this game. Like it's insane, man. Well, anyway. Oh yeah, I didn't even show. There's I did show some of the jump mods, didn't I? Let me show the Warhammer in action. Why? Oh yeah. You know what this reminds me though? There is a bug. Oops. There is a bug that I gotta fix. And that's been on the game for a while. You see how he survived that first attack? Because the armor absorbed all of the damage. There needs to be a threshold where armor doesn't absorb the damage beyond a certain point. I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about actually implementing that though, but if you deal damage over the amount that of armor that's present, then it should probably just count as direct damage rather than make your armor go to 0 and count as direct damage. It should just subtract from it. Actually, maybe I'll work on that right now. Okay, so and that's actually a pretty interesting aspect to this whole thing. I'm going to do my best to try and be more consistent about making videos like this. This has got to be a thing. I might actually start live streaming on DLive. That could actually be pretty interesting. I'm going to give it a shot and see what it's like. I'll leave that open for now. The Warhammer, I'm thinking. See, the Warhammer is the Warhammer is the weapon that. So this guy here uses the Storm Scythe. This guy here uses the Warhammer. Every time you kill these guys, you get a chance of getting their weapon, right? Or maybe the blueprint to getting their weapon, or just like a damaged version of the weapon or something like that, where you have to do something to actually be able to use it. But this guy uses the high staff, this guy uses the scythe, and this guy uses the Warhammer. So the scythe, does this kind of stuff, right? And you'll have to dodge those. So, like, you're basically able to use their attacks back on them, sort of Mega Man-ish kind of a thing, where like, if you decide that you want to use that weapon, you can actually use their own weapon against them. Uh, well, let me get into the character base and not be too distracted for too long because I want to. This will probably be where I end this video. Where I end this particular video because there's so much stuff going on at once. Uh, and then I'll make another video of me just working on the new weapons. But okay, so I'm in character base right now. I gotta go to the graph. Here's the damage system. God. Okay. Hmm. They'll have to be. All right, maybe I'll do this sort of out of order, but this will have to be. Yeah. By default, I guess it'll be off, but see how it goes to like damage armor and then it goes to damage health? I'm going to have a variable here where I promote a new one, and it's going to be like crushing damage or something like that. I'll call it crushing damage. So basically what crushing damage is going to be, how I plan to calculate crushing damage. Crushing damage is damage that goes through armor. I guess maybe it would probably be piercing damage. Okay. Piercing damage. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll see if I'll set piercing damage to 0 before I calculate any of this. So this will have to get moved over a little bit. Just, this damage formula has gone pretty haywire, but so far so good. It's not. Okay, piercing damage is 0 by default. Well, I'll have to do a function right here where I set piercing damage. Alright, so it'll be something like right here, right before I do damage armor calculations. Maybe it could be in the damage armor function actually. This should be pretty straightforward because yeah, it's doing all of the damage correction and stuff like that. At this point in the calculation, I'll have to figure out like, all right, so truncates the float at this point here. Minimum damage threshold. No matter what, you always take at least a tiny percentage of damage every time you get hit. So even a monster that's like level 1 can slowly chip away at a level 5,000 player. Not that I allow that kind of situation to happen anyway. Monsters level up with you when they're levels 5 or lower. Um. Okay, so. Alright, I'm setting the shield here. Okay. This is right here where it says. Alright, the first thing I gotta do is I gotta reset this to 0. You know, come to think of it, I could have probably just did this as a, I don't even have to do it as a, a regular function. Oh, no, no, I have to. I have to, actually. What I was saying is that I could have just done this as a local variable. Hmm. All right, so I'm at the point now. I make sure that this is set to 0. This is the amount of damage that's going to be done to your armor. And all I need to do is figure out how much damage is incoming. I could set this as a sequence, but that would make it a dead end. That doesn't work too well with functions. This is one of those things where it's like I spend more time just trying to think like, what's the best way to do this? Because I know basically what I want to do. If I have, 50% armor and I take 60% damage, then I want to have the piercing damage be just a direct 10% to my health. And that's basically it, right? So you got raw damage, but then you have to calculate it through the level correction system. The level correction system is where like monsters that are above or below level will deal less or more damage based on your level versus theirs. Yeah, I think right here is the raw damage. Here's the generic visual value getting calculated right there. So I'm going to make sure that this is set to 0. And then I'm going to actually go through and say I'm wondering if I should let me see if I can solve this off camera for a moment. Okay, so I got a little bit more of the puzzle in place. The first thing I need to do is I need to figure out whether or not your the incoming damage is greater than your shield. If it's not, then don't don't worry, just continue on as normal, right? But if it is, then I need to set piercing damage to um, yeah, there's gonna be a float, there's gonna be a minus. Might not be this order though. Shield minus. Alright. Like that. Um if I'm not brain farting, what this is gonna do is it's gonna just have a straight percentage that just comes right in. Like it'll be like, okay, we can calculate piercing damage. I might want to clamp this though. So the clamp will be, yeah, I don't care how high it goes, but I do care how low it goes. I don't want it to go lower than 0. I don't want to give the player health. Now the problem with this, oh no, no, actually this isn't a problem because it's going to be a positive value. when I feed damage, health, and yeah, health minus. I don't know why I'm replicating anything anymore. There was a point in time where I actually was replicating things because I was seriously considering allowing multiplayer, um, but not this game. Maybe the sequel, or maybe if I do a multiplayer patch down the road. So this gives me whatever's left over after the armor, after the incoming damage is subtracted from how much shield I have. Or maybe it should be the other way around because it would be shield. Alright, so basically it's here's the damage, and I check to see if shield is greater. If shield is greater than, oh god. Hold on a second. Alright. Okay, so it's actually it's correct. So the first thing I need to do is I need to figure out if the damage that's incoming is greater than the damage than how much shield I have. And if it is, then I want to do piercing damage, which I take how much damage I took and subtract how much shield is left over, right? Because at this point I'm going to lose all my shield anyway, right? And then I clamp this just to make sure it doesn't go below 0. And then because the calculations are utilizing only positive numbers, which are then subtracted manually. Piercing damage is then sitting here, and then I go into the event graph here. I'm printing it out right now because I want to see what happens. I need an enemy that has armor. So the Warhammer should now one shot the minigunner. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to see, because oh yeah, it worked. It worked. But ouch. Really ouch. So like, this is a bug that's been in the game for a long time, and I just fixed it, I think, unless I've caused other problems. But like, there used to be a point where like you'd shoot a monster. This also applies to the player as well. Like, the way it used to work up until this point is, if you've got at least 1 point of armor, you can just nail yourself with a rocket and survive, because you'd get the full mitigation. What the fuck? Why am I not damaging myself? There's probably another bug. Yep, just went right through his armor. One shot him. Oh god, I shouldn't have overcome her myself. So, what happened here? Oh, this is just because I walked into a trigger that gives me legendary everything. Alright, so I just fixed a long-standing bug, but I think I caused something else to go wrong. I'll have to see. But yeah, what the... So it was the Hell... This is level 1. Hell rocket launcher. Did I fuck up and have like oh, impact effect size, AoE duration. Okay, so let me look at the regular rocket launcher. Yeah, okay. Oh, I fixed another bug. Oh, jeez. The Hell rocket launcher was like a pinpoint weapon, didn't have any splash damage. Alright, so I should be able to one-shot kill myself with a fucking hell rocket launcher now when I have 1 point of armor. This wasn't the case up until now. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end the video on this. And then I'm gonna continue working on the Warhammer and High Staff. That'll be next video. But for now, I'm gonna end this on me killing myself with a hell rocket launcher. The hellish rocket launcher. Okay. Alright. Oh, it went right through. How much damage? It didn't one-shot me. I have a little bit of fire resistance. Ooh. That time it worked. Okay, I'm gonna end it now.